Now to Jared Blikre with what else is moving the markets on this Monday. Hello, Jared.
Hey there. Well, let's discover some mountains here. Let's climb some mountains. Except the S&P 500 running in the wrong direction here. We have back-to-back 1+% down days. In fact, this is down more than 2%. We haven't seen that since June of this year. And in fact, in this period right here, we had 4 such days right in a row. I'm not saying that's what has to happen, but consider last week we had options expiration. We had a lot of long gamma running off. In other words, that was protecting prices from some down movement. Now we have a little bit less protection from that. We also failed at the 200-day moving average, not shown, but I just kind of drew it in there. It is sloping to the downside, and we're seeing the VIX pick up as well. Here is the Vix Fear Index, and we can see this is a year-to-date. Pretty big move here. Almost 4 points to the upside. If you're quoting in percentage terms, well, that's a big jump too. And I would be remiss if I didn't go to the bond market. Now, Sean DeCap touched on this briefly. This is a 10-year note. It's up 5 basis points. I want to point to the short end of the curve. This is the 13-week T-bill rate. This tracks the Fed's benchmark interest rate, which it is most likely going to be increasing by 50 to 75 basis points at that next meeting. It has been on a tear. So there is no relief in sight versus rates. And here's the U.S. dollar index. Now, this has been on a tear as well. We are right up to 20-year highs. I just want to show you what's happening with respect to the euro, because the U.S. dollar index is inverse to the euro. And guess what, guys? That is below parity right now, below that $1 to $1. So if you're traveling abroad in Europe, that's pretty good news. If you're a multinational corporation, well, maybe not so much. If you're Bitcoin, maybe not so much either, because the denominator in Bitcoin is the U.S. dollar. And we've seen that heading lower as well, perhaps to 20,000. 20,000, a big level, really needs to hold at least for a few days on a closing basis or on a rolling 24 to 36 month or 24 to 36 hour basis. Now, here are our leaders. Shauna went over some of the sector winners and losers. In fact, all our losers today. Only KWEB, that is a Chinese internet ETF, that is in the green right now. To the downside, the dark red is BETS, that is a gambling ETF. Then we have cannabis stocks, that is chip stocks, and then internet stocks in the U.S. So pretty broad-based sinking decline that we're seeing here in the U.S. markets, guys.
Very little green indeed. A big thank you there to our very own Jared Blikre.